Debbie Nelson featured prominently in the Michigan native's early hit albums. Now, in later years, they attempted to reconcile, and she congratulated him when he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022. She died after a long battle with lung cancer. Debbie Nelson was 69 years old.
Here's my mother. I do love her, and I think I got a better understanding of what she was going through, or what she may be going through. You know what I mean? Now that when I see myself and how I actually became, you know what I mean? I think there's a little compassion factor that goes with that. So,
Eminem, the iconic rapper, has recently experienced a heartbreaking loss: the passing of his mother. As fans ponder on their strained relationship and the impact of her death, many are left wondering how he is coping with this critical moment. Despite their challenges, his mother played a significant role in shaping his early music. How has this loss impacted him? And what does it mean for his legacy? Join us as we delve into Eminem's reaction to his mother's death and explore the lasting influence of his mother on his career. A December to remember. Debbie Nelson, Eminem's mother, has sadly passed away at the age of 69. Her death comes after a life that was often difficult, especially in her relationship with her famous son. Many of the struggles they went through together were captured in Eminem's music, giving fans a glimpse into the complex and painful bond between them. A representative for the rapper, Dennis Dennehy, confirmed the news of her passing, though the exact cause of death hasn't been shared yet. It is known, however, that Debbie had been battling lung cancer. Eminem, known for his open and honest lyrics, has not yet made any public comments about his mother's death. But their relationship was one of the most talked about parts of his career. In his 2002 hit song, "Cleanin' Out My Closet," Eminem expressed anger toward his mother, accusing her of medication, misuse, and neglect. The lyrics were harsh and raw, and they shocked many fans. He described moments of watching her struggle with prescription pills, expressing deep pain and frustration. This song became one of his most famous tracks, and it caused a lot of controversy. At one point, Debbie decided to take legal action against her son. In 1999, she filed a lawsuit over another of Eminem's songs, "My Name Is," claiming it defamed her. However, she later admitted that it was her lawyer's idea to file the lawsuit, and ultimately settled out of court for $25,000. As Eminem grew older, his own battles with dependence mirrored some of the accusations he made about his mother. In his 2009 song "My Mom," he opened up about his struggles with prescription medication, even saying that his issues with addiction were partly due to his relationship with his mother. Debbie, in turn, wrote a memoir in 2008 called "My Son Marshall, My Son Eminem," where she expressed heartbreak over her son's lyrics. She was deeply hurt by what he said about her, but still loved him. The memoir gave her a chance to tell her side of the story and share her feelings with the world. Despite the years of tension, there were signs that the mother and son were able to start healing their relationship. In 2013, Eminem released a song called "Headlights," in which he apologized for the harsh things he said in "Cleanin' Out My Closet." He admitted that, although he was angry at the time, he never meant to take things as far as he did. It was a moment of self-reflection, and fans saw it as a sign that things between the two had begun to improve. The bond between them, though still complicated, appeared to grow stronger in the years that followed. When Eminem was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2022, Debbie publicly congratulated him. She recorded a video message for him, saying, "Marshall, I want to say I could not let this day go by without congratulating you. I love you very much. I knew you'd get there. It's been a long ride. I'm very, very proud of you."
Mather's mother, Debbie, and she has something to say to her son.
Yes, I want to say, Marshall, I could not let this day go by without congratulating you on your induction to the Hall of Fame. I love you very much. I knew you'd get there, and it's been a long ride, and very, very proud of you. And also I'm very proud of Haley Jade, my baby girl. And I want to tell you, Haley, great job on your podcast, and God bless you guys.
The video was later taken down, but her words were clear. She was proud of him, and despite their complicated past, she was happy for his success. The passing of his mother has reignited curiosity about Eminem's childhood and the experiences that made him into the person he is today. What were the defining moments of his formative years? The diamond in the rough. Marshall Bruce Mathers III, known as Eminem, was born in St. Joseph, Missouri, on October 17, 1972. He was the only child of Marshall Bruce Mathers Jr. and Deborah "Debbie" Nelson. His mother faced serious complications during her 73-hour labor, almost losing her life. Eminem's parents were in a band called Daddy Warbucks, performing in small towns along the Dakotas-Montana border. But they separated when he was very young. His father left when Eminem was just a year and a half old, and he grew up with his mother, Debbie, who raised him in poverty. Despite writing letters to his father, Eminem's attempts to reconnect were always returned, marked "Return to Sender." By the time he turned 12, Eminem and his mother were constantly moving between states, rarely staying in one place for long. Before settling in Detroit, they lived in St. Joseph, Savannah, Missouri, Kansas City, Warren, Michigan, and Roseville, Michigan. For much of his youth, they lived in a working-class, predominantly black neighborhood, making Eminem one of the few white families on their block. During this time, he was often bullied and beaten by other kids, a painful experience he later revealed in his music. Throughout his childhood, Eminem often clashed with his mother, whose behavior was described by a social worker as very suspicious, almost paranoid. One significant incident occurred when a bully named D'Angelo Bailey severely injured Eminem's head in a fight, an event he humorously exaggerated in his song "Brain Damage." His mother sued the school over the incident, but a judge dismissed the case the following year, citing the school's immunity from lawsuits. Eminem was passionate about storytelling and dreamed of becoming a comic book artist before discovering hip-hop. His interest in rap began when he first heard the song "Reckless" by Ice-T, a gift from his uncle Ronnie Polkinghorne, who later became Eminem's music mentor. When Ronnie tragically took his own life in 1991, Eminem withdrew into silence for days and skipped his uncle's funeral. At 14, Eminem started rapping with his high school friend Mike Ruby, adopting the rap name M&M, which eventually became Eminem. He and his friend Proof often snuck into nearby Osborne High School to participate in lunchtime freestyle rap battles. They also attended open mic contests at the Hip Hop Shop on West 7 Mile Road, the heart of the Detroit rap scene. Although he faced challenges breaking into a predominantly black industry, underground hip-hop fans quickly recognized Eminem's talent. Eminem's early songwriting was a form of practice. He would write long words or phrases on paper and focus on rhyming each syllable, even if the words didn't always make sense. This exercise helped him perfect his rhyming skills, later becoming a hallmark of his music. During this time, Debbie allowed Kimberly Ann "Kim" Scott, a runaway, to stay with them. Kim later became Eminem's on and off girlfriend. Struggling in school due to truancy and poor grades, Eminem dropped out of high school at 17. Although he was interested in English, he preferred comic books over literature and didn't care much about subjects like math and social studies. He later earned his GED. Eminem worked several jobs to help his mother make ends meet, including one at Little Caesar's Pizza in Warren. Despite his efforts, Debbie often kicked him out of the house, taking most of his paycheck. When she left to play bingo, Eminem would blast music and write songs, channeling his frustration into his music and beginning the journey to make him one of the most influential rappers in history. Fueling his passion with every struggle, Eminem's determination to turn hardships into art set the stage for his musical breakthrough. How did he achieve this? shaking off the dust. In 1988, this young man from Detroit took his first steps into the music world, forming a group called New Jacks with DJ Butterfingers. They crafted a demo tape, marking the start of a journey that would take him far. By 1989, he and his group joined Bassmint Productions, which later became Soul Intent. In 1995, they released an EP featuring the rapper Proof, a close childhood friend. In the early 90s, he appeared in a music video, Duda Dippity, by Champtown, before joining forces with Proof again to form D12 in 1996. Their debut EP, the Underground EP, came out in 1997. During this time, Eminem was signed to Jeff and Mark Bass's FBT Productions, recording his first album, Infinite, in 1995. Although the album was a commercial failure, it introduced a more introspective, less violent Eminem, focused on personal struggles, including raising his daughter, Haley. Eminem faced tough times, living in a rough neighborhood and struggling to make ends meet. He worked at Gilbert's Lodge, cooking and washing dishes for minimum wage, but was fired just before Christmas. Despite his hardships, he poured his anger and frustration into his music, crafting a darker, more intense sound. In 1997, after a self-harm attempt and personal turmoil, Eminem turned to the alter ego Slim Shady, allowing him to express his anger in violent and gritty lyrics. In 1997, after performing at the Rap Olympics, Eminem caught the attention of Interscope Records intern Dean Geistlinger, who passed his Slim Shady EP to Jimmy Iovine. Iovine played the tape for Dr. Dre, who was instantly captivated by Eminem's raw talent, despite skepticism from his peers. Eminem soon signed with Aftermath Entertainment, and his career began to skyrocket. In 1999, his debut album, The Slim Shady LP, was released and certified triple platinum by year's end, despite its controversial lyrics about violence and family struggles. Eminem's success continued with the release of the Marshall Mathers LP in 2000, which sold 1.76 million copies in its first week, setting records. His single, The Real Slim Shady, sparked controversy with its celebrity jabs, while Stan became a massive hit, regarded as one of the greatest rap songs of all time. In 2002, he released The Eminem Show, which examined his rise to fame and his complicated relationship with his family. This album was another commercial triumph, selling millions worldwide. By 2003, Eminem was not just a rapper, but a producer, working on projects like the Tupac Resurrection soundtrack and producing tracks for Tupac's Loyal to the Game. His encore album followed in 2004, marked by humor and serious political commentary, particularly the anti-war song Mosh. However, personal struggles weighed heavily on him, leading to a hiatus and speculation that he might retire. In 2005, after a tour, he checked into rehab for sleep medication addiction. However, that was not the end of his struggle. In 2005, the tragic death of his close friend and D12 member Proof sent Eminem into a deep depression. During his hiatus, rumors of his retirement swirled, but he emerged in 2009, determined to reclaim his place in the music world. A new spark. In May 2012, Eminem revealed he was working on a new album slated for release the following year. Although it lacked a title or release date, it quickly became one of the most anticipated albums 2013, making it onto several most anticipated lists, including those by MTV, Complex, and XXL. In August 2013, Eminem dropped Survival, featuring Liz Rodriguez, and produced by DJ Khalil, in a trailer for the game Call of Duty: Ghosts. This began a new chapter for Eminem, who would soon reveal the album's title, The Marshall Mathers LP 2. Announced during the 2013 MTV Video Music Awards, the album was set to release on November 5, 2013. Its first single, Berserk, debuted at number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, followed by Survival, Rap God, and The Monster, featuring Rihanna. When the Marshall Mathers LP 2 dropped, it debuted at number 1 on the Billboard 200, and its first week sales made it the second largest for the year. Eminem was now the first artist since the Beatles to have 4 singles in the top 20 of the Billboard Hot 100. Internationally, the album soared to number 1 in the UK, cementing his place as a global star. Eminem continued to rack up accolades, being named YouTube Music Awards Artist of the Year and receiving the Global Icon Award at the 2013 MTV Europe Music Awards. He also became the first artist to earn 2 Digital Diamond certifications from the RIAA for Not Afraid and Love the Way You Lie. In 2014, Eminem and his manager, Paul Rosenberg, teased a new Shady Records compilation, Shady 15th. The album, which featured a mix of greatest hits and new tracks from Shady artists, dropped in November 2014. It quickly became a fan favorite, debuting at number 3 on the Billboard 200. The following year saw the release of the official Eminem box set, a 10-disc collection celebrating his career, alongside his guest appearances on tracks like Tech and Nine Inez, Speed'em, and Yellow Wolf's Best Friend. Eminem also made waves as the executive producer of the Southpaw soundtrack, releasing singles like Phenomenal and Kings Never Die. In the summer of 2015, he made headlines with his surprise performance on Only in Monroe, a public access show, and his announcement of involvement in the upcoming TV series Motor City. By 2016, Eminem was back in the spotlight with his political anthem Campaign Speech and a remastered release of his 1996 album Infinite. That same year, he shocked fans by releasing a 10-minute documentary about his early career, Partners in Rhyme, the true story of Infinite. Even more high-profile releases followed in the following years. Revival dropped in December 2017, followed by the surprise release of Kamikaze in August 2018. Kamikaze was a direct response to the mixed reviews of Revival and topped the Billboard 200 in its first week. Eminem didn't stop there. He released Music to Be Murdered By in January 2020, followed by a deluxe edition later that year. Eminem continued to surprise fans in 2021 and 2022 with collaborations like Last One Standing and a remix of Use This Gospel, as well as his inclusion in the Super Bowl LVI halftime show in 2022. In July 2022, he released Curtain Call 2, a sequel to his first Most Excellent Hits album, marking another milestone in his legendary career. As the years went on, Eminem remained at the top of the rap game, constantly reinventing himself and surprising fans with new music and collaborations. His influence in both the music industry and pop culture was undeniable. And with each release, he continued to prove that he was, and still is, a force to be reckoned with. Despite his success, Eminem was involved in many controversial situations that marred his career. What are some of these controversies? A world of controversies. Eminem's first brush with the law came when he was just 20 years old. He was arrested for being involved in a drive-by shooting with a paintball gun, but the case was dropped when the victim didn't show up in court. However, his legal troubles didn't end there. On June 3, 2000, he found himself arrested again, this time after an altercation with Douglas Dale, an employee of Insane Clown Posse's record label, at a car audio store in Royal Oak, Michigan. During the argument, Eminem pulled out an unloaded gun and pointed it at the ground. The very next day, in Warren, Michigan, Eminem was arrested once more, this time for harming a man he found kissing his wife in a cafe parking lot. Eminem later referenced this altercation in his song The Kiss on The Eminem Show. In both cases, Eminem pled guilty to possession of a concealed weapon, receiving 2 years of probation. The charge was dropped as part of a plea agreement. Then, in 2001, Eminem was sentenced to 1 year's probation and community service, and fined around $2,000 for weapon charges stemming from a separate argument with a psychopathic records employee. Meanwhile, Eminem was facing legal battles with his family too. In 1999, his mother sued him for $10 million, accusing him of slandering her on the Slim Shady LP. The case ended in 2001, with the court awarding her just $1,600 in damages. Eminem's personal life also saw turmoil. On July 7, 2000, his ex-wife Kim Mathers attempted to hurt himself by slitting her wrists, later suing him for defamation over his depiction of her violent death in his song, Kim. In 2001, sanitation worker D'Angelo Bailey filed a $1 million lawsuit against Eminem, claiming the lyrics in Brain Damage portrayed him unfairly as a violent bully. Although Bailey admitted to bullying Eminem in school, he argued that he merely shoved him. The court dismissed the lawsuit in 2003, with Judge Deborah Servito writing her opinion in a unique rap-like verse, emphasizing that the public could easily recognize the exaggerated nature of the lyrics. Eminem's legal battles extended beyond personal disputes. In 2007, his music publishing company, 8 Mile Style, sued Apple Inc. and Aftermath Entertainment, accusing them of negotiating a digital download deal with Apple for 93 of Eminem's songs on iTunes without authorization. The case against Apple was settled out of court in 2009, while a 2010 ruling in FBT Productions, LLC v. Aftermath Records, ordered that Eminem and his business partners were owed 50% royalties from Aftermath's deals with major companies like Apple and Sprint. This legal saga reached the Supreme Court in 2011, but the case was declined. Eminem's controversial lyrics also led to accusations of homophobia. Critics and an Australian politician targeted him, accusing him of using derogatory language toward the LGBTQ+ community. Eminem denied these accusations, explaining that degrading terms were commonly used in his community when he was growing up, and didn't always have a specific meaning toward gay people. In 2010, during an interview with Anderson Cooper, he further explained that his words were meant to reflect the environment he came from, not to attack gay individuals. Despite this, he was criticized again in 2018 for using a homophobic slur in a song targeting Tyler, the Creator. Eminem later apologized, saying he regretted going too far and acknowledged that his words had hurt others. Eminem, however, has also shown support for gay rights. He is a close friend of openly gay singer Elton John and believes in marriage equality. In an interview, he stated, "If two people love each other, then what the hell?" He added that his views on many issues, including same-gender marriage, had matured. Why hasn't Eminem made a public statement about his mother's death yet? Is his silence a reflection of his grief? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.